Hello and welcome to another recorded live with all its ups and downs episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, an ongoing video series where every other Monday I try to give you unlimited anime by talking about something from the world of anime that I want to chat about. Tonight we're going to be talking about the fall 2023 season that is wrapping up, and we're going to preview the winter 2024 season, which will begin soon because due to Christmas and the New Year's stuff in Japan, there is a lull between anime ending and anime starting, and it's a good time to get caught up. So maybe some of the shows I'll be chatting with you in this video, you'll be like, I do want to see that. Yeah, Pat's been yelling about Frieren, so I guess I should watch Frieren. You know, that kind of thing. Or even for me, one of the first shows we're going to be talking about here is a show that I didn't watch that I do want to watch. So we'll talk about that right now. 16-bit sensation, another layer. We're using AniChart, by the way. We're going through AniChart here. 16-bit sensation, another layer is a time travel anime about a girl that just wants to make video games of her youth, and she can't in this modern mobile game society. She can't do that. But boom, gets sucked through, opens an old game and gets sucked into a different time, 1992, and now she's going to go work for a company and make the games that she's dreamed of working on. And that's a fun premise for a slice of life. The first episode didn't hit me, and I don't know quite why. It just didn't. But I would like to give this a second look. So I am going to definitely check this out. Possibly during the break, maybe next season, I don't know. But 16-bit sensation is a show that I feel like I should give a shot to. And maybe you'll feel the same. And again, folks that are watching the stream live, you can let me know in chat if you've watched any of the shows we'll be talking about now. Like A Girl and Her Guard Dog. I didn't watch this. You may be surprised to know that I didn't watch this creepy romance anime about a Yakuza boss's granddaughter who wants to go to a school and be treated like a normal person and not be protected, but someone from her life, a Yakuza member, ends up infiltrating the school posing as a student, and she has feelings for him because it's a romance. And I need to let you know that Kea is 26 years old. So I didn't watch this anime. I also didn't watch a playthrough of a certain dude's VR MMO life. I find, personally, that I don't particularly enjoy, because there's two this year of MMORPGs as an anime. I don't tend to enjoy them. Boofery I like because I find Maple just a really fun character. I think she's just really enjoyable, and it's a kind of cozy show. But in general, I am not super enthused with the idea of like, let's watch an anime about someone playing a video game, like from the perspective of their avatar. That just doesn't do it for me unless they are trapped in that video game in some sort of death game, or they are isekai'd into that world. Then I'm more interested. Chris Weed is talking about saying, love the expressiveness of the rating emojis, talking about the emojis. Yes. So these rankings that you'll see here are the rankings of viewers and people that use AniList/AniChart and giving their ratings. So you can see apparently they liked but didn't love 16-bit sensation. It being 52% is pretty good, but there are some, there are people out there that are living their lives, and I don't feel like judging them too harshly, but And yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I didn't watch it because I am not interested in this style of action series outside of Boofery because it's so fun. A Returner's Magic should be special. I watched this one. not weekly. I kind of like watched it in bits and spurts. I'm a big fan of the idea of more manhwa, South Korean comics, becoming full-fledged anime. I think that's rad, because this is a pretty fun one of those. This is, hey, um, there's like three kinds of manhwa out there that are very, very popular. There is the uh, something has happened to our world. We are now part of a tower system or raids or whatever, and now there are guilds, and we have to defeat the big bads. There are we're in a fantasy world that is sometimes based on Chinese mythology, but other times is a fantasy. Um, and then the third is, hey, I died and I've gone back in time to try again. I am a returner. Um, and sometimes those mix together. Sometimes I've returned back to this world that has changed, or I have been died. I have died and I've been isekai to a fantasy world that is loosely based on Chinese mythology, or I'm in a Chinese mythology style setting and I've died and gone back in time and I'm a returner. Regression. Those are, there's plenty of other ones, right? There are romance ones. I should say the fourth other incredibly popular character or category of manhwa is I'm gonna whip everyone's ass. Stop fucking with me. I'm trying to be a normal high school student. There is, you can imagine webtoons, the people that are writing these web novels that get turned into manhwa. They're not all high school students or graduated students, but there's a certain percentage that it's more likely that you're going to see that. So there's a lot of like, I'm a badass in high school. Now I'm going to have to beat everybody up. And some of them are returners. It's a lot. Anyway, this one's pretty good. I think the animation is solid. The story doesn't really do that much for me, but I'm glad to see it get a good treatment. We are going to see a manhwa turned into an anime next season that a lot of people are highly anticipating. It might be the #1 most anticipated anime of winter 2024. We'll get to that soon. Eventually, we're also going to get to an anime that I watched like weekly. This is the first one of these that I watched, but I did watch a lot of anime this season. There's just a ton of anime. I didn't watch Arknight Prelude to Dawn, so I did not Arknights, I should say. So I didn't watch Arknights Perish in Frost. It's both very good titles. Prelude to Dawn and Perish in Frost are both very strong subtitles for this, but I did not watch either of them. B Project Passion Love Call, which is the sequel to B Project Zeko Emotion. Again, good names. This is the third season of B Project. Did anyone pick? This is on Crunchyroll. Okay. Sometimes they don't get picked up because some of them are multimedia projects that really don't translate. This one did. There are a lot of boys in this photo. And it's a music anime. The people that want to watch this know about it, and they don't need me to tell them about their guilty pleasures. Berserk of Gluttony. I don't know if this is based on the light novels, based on the manga, based on the manhwa, which is based on the light novels. I don't know which one this is based on. I did not watch it because I do not enjoy the manga of this, which I tried to get into. But it is an action series that is not an isekai, and I applaud it for that. It's nice to have that now and again. Continuing on, Beyblade X. I'm not watching Beyblade. I don't think, nobody picked this up, right? Yeah, nobody picked this up. This Beyblade anime. I never got into Beyblades. Bikuraman. This guy. There's a YouTube. You can get around and watch it on YouTube. This is an anime based on characters designed to sell snacks. In this case, chocolate wafers. It's like if Sanrio had an anime, but in this case, it's what if a bunch of characters they designed to sell chocolate wafer snacks in like advertisements, and then he made an anime about it, and it's got a bunch of episodes, like full length episodes, I should say, full length, 12 full length episodes for this, not picked up for English subtitles. Cannot tell you about it. Do not know how anyone is ranking this other than they are watching it on. They're figuring out a way to watch it. Most likely they're using a VPN to watch it on YouTube, and they did not enjoy it. Bullbuster. Hell yeah. Well, this rating is bad. Ratings in this one, whatever. Listen to your friend Pat. Your friend Pat is going to tell you there's so few mecha out, right? Now, did this end up in my top 10 list for the best shows of 2023? No. Is it in the top 15 of my anime of 2023? Probably not. If you love mecha, is this one of the best mecha shows of the year? Yes. Obviously, it's no Witch from Mercury. What is? But it's very fun. I wish that the Bullbuster and the other mechanical machines in the anime were done in digital and not in CGI. That is a failing of it. It is a mixed media in that way. I don't love, but it's very fun. It is basically a small business trying to make it in this world, trying to help out local residents, trying to deal with hostile takeover from a big nameless corporation, big medical, just trying to survive, trying to make things better for people trying to fulfill their dreams. And also, there's machines that look like they are mechs made out of construction equipment that battle giant monsters that appeared on an island. So it's pretty fucking rad, is what I'm saying. Bullbuster kind of whips ass, and maybe you should check it out. I did not watch a second of Buddha Reba, the story of a man turned into a pig. This is look, I watch a lot of, I watch and read a lot of isekai. You know me. You know that's something that I do for me, and then also for you, but for me, because I love that. I didn't. As far as I know, this guy sucks. Like, that's part of it, is that he sucks as a person, and then he's a pig. And then she can understand what she can read his mind, and then they got to help each other out. And it may, I don't know for sure, but I believe most of this anime, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe a lot of this anime is in first person, which is kind of interesting, but also no thanks. So I did not watch this. I did not watch Captain Tsubasa Junior Youth Arc. I do appreciate that, one, this is a sequel to the 2018 show, and it's 2023, and they were like, we're doing it. Two, they're doing 39 fucking episodes of this. That's rad. And three, this looks old as shit, and that's awesome. I'm not much for sports anime. I like a couple sports anime, but I'm not super into it. But I'm thrilled that they're doing this thing, because if you love Captain Tsubasa, like, you're getting more of that. I always want people to get more of the anime they like. Now, sometimes that's a double-edged sword, where they might get a show that hasn't aired for a very long time, might come back, and then it's not great when it comes back. That's always a bummer. But even if that's, even if it's just okay, incredible. Good for them. Not for me, but good. Dead Mount Death Play Part 2. I am several episodes into this. When Part 1 came out, because the second core, there was a split core. When Part 1 came out, I didn't know it was an isekai. It's weird. It's a weird fucking show. You might really like it. It might be right up your alley. For me, it's like hit or miss. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. It's very quirky, and it's not that it doesn't care about life, because there's life and death, obviously. But it's a little um uh it it's a little hit or miss, in my opinion. The humor doesn't always hit, is what I'm trying to say. But I like Dead Mount Death Play as a concept. Um, Dog Signal. Nobody picked up Dog Signal. It's got 20 episodes. I don't know who's ranking it, because it doesn't have a US partner. I want to watch this. It it's just like a story about dog trainers. It sounds cute as hell. It's called Dog Signal. It's a good name. There's going to be 20 episodes, and I might have to go into nefarious means in order to watch it. Even just like watching the raw episodes, because, like, I don't know. Yeah, because I think there's a YouTube channel for it that shows it in parts of the world. Yeah. I want to know more about Dog Signal. It's a good name. It seems like a fun idea. I love a good slice of life. Dr. Stone New World Part 2 came out. That is the sequel to New World, which is the second season, I think, because the first season was really long and broken up into parts. I think it would be weird for you, if you are not someone that has watched Dr. Stone. I don't know if now is the time to like go and watch it and get into it, but you might really like it. It's very inventive. It's very expressive. I don't count it as an isekai. Some people do. Some people call Dr. Stone an isekai because they consider time travel, like this amount of time travel, to make it a different world. And I don't agree with that. I don't believe it, because the world is like, it's one thing if it's an anime where 10,000 years later there's magic and monsters there. It's another, to me, that could be an isekai. This is just like, I don't know, it's just like real post, like end of humanity event. So that, to me, it doesn't count as an isekai. But also, it's pretty good. It's always silly. It's animated really well. But I don't know. I don't know if I love Dr. Stone, but I like Dr. Stone. I'll say that. Firefighter Diago, Firefighter Daigo, I should say. Daigo. Rescuer in Orange. I have not watched any of this. I am not particularly interested in a firefighting anime. I will say I did watch the 3 episodes of FLCL Shoegaze, which is the sequel to Grunge, which is 10 years after Alternative. Diminishing returns, in my opinion. I think FLCL Alternative, I didn't like when I first watched it, because I was like, this doesn't need to exist. And I stand by that. Alternative doesn't need to exist, but it's fine. And one of the ways to make me like FLCL Alternative more is for Grunge and Shoegaze to come out, because I like them so much less. I now like Alternative more. I've been very negative, and I apologize, but also I'm talking about stuff I didn't like, and I don't sugarcoat it too much. I try not to. Sometimes I do. But yeah, they don't need to keep making FLCL anymore. They didn't need to keep making FLCL, period, but they certainly don't need to continue it. Here we go. Here's the good shit. My number 2 anime of 2023, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Madhouse is doing such a good job with this. This is a 28 episode, 2-core, back-to-back. It's taking a week off at time of this recording. There won't be no episode this week, but it started with 4 episodes that aired, kind of like a big movie. God, what do I say about Frieren? First and foremost, it's goddamn gorgeous. It is, slice of life should be included in this, because this is a chill action series. There is violence and fighting and monsters and demons and battles, but it is mostly about a party coming together and traveling with a goal in mind, but also just discovering things along the way with a character who has one foot in the present and one foot in her past, like a very dramatic element, a long living elf who is quirky and weird in many ways. Frieren falls for mimic traps all the time, which is very funny. It's a very funny thing that she's always, because you never know what might be in a treasure chest. Who collects weird spells, weird grimoires, because she was told to get a hobby, and that's the hobby she decided on. It's really good and beautiful. And again, Madhouse did such a fantastic job. If you come away from this video with one anime that you're like, okay, fall 2023, this is the show from fall 2023 I'm going to watch, it should be this one. Give it a couple episodes. Let it wash over you. I think you could. I don't often recommend marathoning shows, but I think this one, because the vibes are so relaxed and there are a couple cliffhangers here and there, you could probably get through the many episodes that have already aired of it and be fine. Nathan Explosion in the chat says, Frieren is the only show I watched this season and also happens to be the best show of the season. Yeah, you of the one show, if you only had to pick one, you picked the right one, in my opinion. There are a couple other shows we'll talk about that I think are very good, but this one is clearly the best. And in a year, if all of Witcher Mercury had come out last year and they didn't have part 2 this year, it would have been my number 1. But Frieren is number 2. I think that's good. Hey, I didn't watch Girlfriend season 2. I think there are more girlfriends now. I think there might be 4 girlfriends. I don't want to watch it. A lot of the comedy seems to come from people who are not super on board with this being like a big, what the premise. There are characters in the show unhappy with the premise of the show, it feels like. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that. Goblin Slayer 2. I said Goblin there. Goblin Slayer 2, which is the second season of Goblin Slayer after the little OVA in between, or movie, I should say. It was a movie that aired as an OVA. I can't remember. Anyway, hey, Goblin, it's more fucking Goblin Slayer. If you thought Goblin Slayer was cool as shit and you were like, oh fuck, this is violent but cool. If you're looking, hey, there are a couple anime this season where the main character is a badass killing machine that is not a fully formed human person with wants and needs and feelings because of dramatic events in their past. This is the one to watch because there's a couple other ones that suck. So if you are looking for that, Goblin Slayer, because the supporting cast is fantastic, and we'll breeze through the other ones that are the somewhat edgelordy main characters. Hypnosis Mic Division Rap Battle Rhythm Anima Plus, which is the sequel to Hypnosis Mic Division Rap Battle Rhythm Anima. This is a multimedia thing where, like, before the first season came out, if you bought a single of one of the characters from the CD dramas, you could help decide who won the rap battles. And then they took all the music and then they wrote a show around the music that they had already recorded. And that's interesting. Most of these characters are not rappers because they're they got voice actors to do the roles and do the lines, and some of them are just singers and some of them are also not fucking singers. But it's a whole thing, and I would say you should steer clear of Hypnosis Mic unless you are looking for something to deep dive into, to get on message boards and read translations of German chats of people, because it's apparently very popular in Germany. But I think you have to be like committed to really get into a thing in order to approach Hypnosis Mike. Because just watching the anime doesn't feel like you're getting the whole thing. So, yeah. I Shall Survive Using Potions. I just finished the episode, the last episode today of I Shall Survive Using Potions. What a fun isekai. If you're looking for a female-led isekai that has some action, but mostly is a lot of silly moments, this one I recommend. This is probably, this is my isekai of the season. A office worker who is probably a little too smart for her own good ends up getting sent to a fantasy world. She makes a lot of demands of the goddess of that world. She can understand and read and hear any language, which includes animal languages, which is weird. She can make any potion that she wants, because she doesn't want to fight in the front lines, but she wants to make potions. And she can make any kind of container for those potions, which means she can make like a carriage potion container, or a potion that lets you find hidden treasure in a container that is shaped like a compass. She just breaks all the rules, and it's very fun. Also, because she became friends with the goddess, she's basically immortal. The only other thing I'll say about this one, because we don't have to keep it moving. We do need to pace ourselves here, is because we're only on I. I do need to tell you that a late introduction in this anime is a horse that is named Ed, that because of her abilities, Kaoru can talk to. So there is a talking horse named Ed. And it's the second best talking animal of the season. There's one better. And we'll get to that later. I Shall Survive Using Potions is fun. Chris says, hey, I get that reference. Yes. It's a fun show. I like it. There's a lot of comeuppance. There's a lot of goofiness. She's a full-rounded character. She has flaws, which a lot of overpowered isekai main characters don't have flaws. Their flaw is they're too nice. She's not too nice, and that's fun. I'm giving the disgraced noble lady I rescued a crash course in naughtiness, which is probably the best, one of, if not the best, isekai ass titles for not an isekai. But this light novel shit. This is a fun enough romance show. He's like trying to teach her to be selfish because she's been bullied and taken advantage of her whole life. It's just a lot of his selfishness is just her having a good time and them kind of falling in love. And he's not really he's not like the demon lord. He just knows a lot of magic and people are scared of him. But then basically everyone kind of comes around and he's pretty okay. It's fine. There's some good supporting cast. I think you could skip this one and be fine. I'm in love with the villainess. I will tell you right now, this is queer. Do not worry. This is not subtext. This is not the kind of like, oh, it's got two girls. Wink and nod. No. This is a love story. It is, but it also is about obsession, because this is a otome game. Isekai girl wakes up in the dating game that she loves. Turns out she really loved the villainess. And it's not like, not all queer stories need to be healthy. And this is not a healthy love for most of the anime. It kind of falls into place, but it's mostly like the comedy elements of it kind of being like, how do you defeat a tsundere? You are just honest and earnest with them about your feelings for them, and they don't know how to respond to that because they're tsundere. But it's also, it's not bullying, but it's like insistent, like, I'm so in love with you that eventually you're going to come around to me being in love with you. And it's not like sinister in that way, but it's not clean and clear. It's of the queer isekai, thank you for the follow. Got bamboozled. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thank you for hitting the follow button. There in 2023, there was another isekai about two girls that fall in love. That also wasn't queer baiting. That was legit romance. That took a while to get there, and that one's good because it's slow. And this one is. You have to keep reminding yourself that it's a comedy. I just don't think it's like, I don't know. There's so little queer media that makes it into that survives the light novel to manga to anime, because often the manga is where you're actually going to see a lot of that toned down. And sometimes it doesn't get put back in for the anime. But this one does, so I like that. Doodles the Great says, I watched this series, but it didn't grab me much. Not bad, just average to me. Yeah, it's pretty average. But, as I said, there's so little queer media, queer, like, fully fledged, like, whispers and jokes about it, queer anime, that, it is one. We're going to get I think, superior, based on what I've read of it, queer anime next season. There's at least one that I think is going to be way better. We'll get to that when we talk about next season. I did not watch Kami-Arabi God.app because that title and the fact that it's a psychological supernatural, I was just like, no. High schoolers must use their unique powers to compete against each other for the coveted title God. It's a battle anime. It's a high schoolers battle anime with magic powers and betrayals, and it's a battle. Hey, it's a battle royale, and that's just not something I'm super into myself. So I did not watch this. I did not watch Kawagoe Boys Sing Now or Never. I'm not particularly into. I do like some music shows, like idols shows. I do like some. I'm trying to get into more. Did not watch this. This is like the lowest rated I've seen any show. Again, the ratings don't mean too much, but it's sometimes an indication about, are people even checking this out? Yeah. I didn't watch this anime about choir boys. Kizuna no Allied second season. I did not watch this. Miracle and her friends continue to chase their dreams as virtual artists. Did not watch the first season. Didn't watch the second season. Maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. Wit does a good job. So maybe I'm missing out. But I did not watch this. MF Ghost. Leave your positive feelings about Initial D in the past. I didn't finish it. I might, but I didn't finish it. Okay, here's the thing. Racing is good. The racing is good, right? Did we need either plot that the show has in it? You can argue the fish out of water story is interesting. The heightening of the guy who doesn't know about the world of street racing but learned about street racing of Initial D, you can heighten that by, well, he does know street racing. He just doesn't really know Japan because he wasn't raised there. So he gets to experience how great Japanese shit is. Which does get old, but that's kind of interesting. It's the B plot that just fucking sucks. Because I thought this was going to be a harsh look at the world, the people that are obsessed with the wrong elements of street racing, and by extension, fandom in Japan, which is, oh, I'm not really into that thing. I'm into the girls that work at that thing. In this case, race girls that hold the signs and all that. Because there are a bunch of creeps who I don't think are supposed to be considered creeps. who are really interested in finding out the private details of this high school girl. And not enough of them are beaten the fuck up about it or insulted about it or put in their place about it. And I was like, this anime must think that this sucks. And I don't think the anime thinks that that behavior sucks. And it's weird. It's weird to have it in there because it was like, well, what are you trying? I can't tell what MF Ghost is trying to say because I don't know if it has a point of view. And again, media, fiction, stories, they don't have to be things that I agree with on a personal level. I'm not saying that I only engage with media that reinforces my predetermined beliefs. I'm fine with being challenged, but I don't think MF Ghost is trying to challenge me. I think MF Ghost doesn't fucking know what it's doing and is trying to get ahead of people saying, why do you have such exploitative bullshit in your anime? By saying, oh no, it's not exploitative at all. But it is. It's like having 2 to 3 Minettas having a random plot every now and then. Ghost Valve, yes. Yeah, there's a high Minetta population in this anime. I would say the best way to enjoy MF Ghost is clips on YouTube. Because the clips on YouTube are just going to be the races. And it's just going to have good music. The music is fine in this one. You know, it's going to have Eurobeat. Also, eventually, I don't know if it's happened yet because I haven't really looked for it, but I imagine it's happened already. And if it hasn't, it'll happen soon. People are going to take the racing footage of this and then put in songs from Initial D. They're just going to put in the Euro, like Deja Vu is just going to be put on over the racing. And that is, in my opinion, the best way to engage with MF Ghost. I'm just disappointed. Just disappointed in it. I did not watch Mickey and Dolly. I don't know. It's like a dark slice of life that I just didn't know what. Like, I read this description and I was like, what? What? The idea of twins pretending to just be one person is pretty fucking cool. But I wasn't interested in finding out the mystery, so I didn't engage with it. I know some people. One of my friends was talking it up and was surprised that I wasn't watching it, but it just didn't hit me. My daughter left the nest and returned an S-Rank adventurer. Look, the only reason I would say maybe don't watch this is because I don't think there's going to be a season 2, and it doesn't. And it ends with 13 episodes, right? It just ends with 13 episodes. It doesn't really have any kind of conclusion to it because that's not how the manga goes or the light novel goes. It is fun. The idea of, I used to be an adventurer. I found this baby. I raised her. She now whips ass as an adventurer. And she's like a daddy's girl. So all she wants to do is have vacation days to come see me. And then a bunch of other shit happens. There are a lot of characters in this anime. It's just like episode 11 introduced a character that is very important for the next 2 episodes after that. This is like, okay, sure. It's animated really well. There's some good action to it, but like I said, it doesn't stand on its own as 13 episodes of a show. It's the beginning, and I don't know if we're going to get more of it. So in the future, I might say, you should go back and watch My Daughter Left the Nest and Returned an S-Rank Adventurer. But right now, I can't tell you to watch it. I can't really highly recommend it, because it just doesn't hit as hard as It doesn't stand on its own 2 feet, I guess I should say. My new boss is Goofy is fucking fun. It's just fucking fun. Do you want just like a straight up like adults comedy thing? It's good. It's just like, I mean, My new boss is Goofy, a guy who's got a lot of trauma from previous like work environment, ends up having like a kind of very supportive pushover kind of boss, and the coworkers are good, and it's just a sitcom about hijinks with these people, and it's lovely. And I'm kind of surprised it got an anime adaptation because it's just a nice manga that's now a nice anime. You could do so much worse than My New Boss is Goofy. And A1 Pictures is a fantastic studio. I think this is like their B team, but it's still very good. It didn't have to be like incredible, but it's good. Um, I wouldn't say that there's queer baiting in this, but if there's a healthy dojin scene for this anime and manga, I wouldn't be surprised. If any of these characters ended up dating any of the other characters, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's not earned. I would be like, oh yeah, okay. But they're not like, oh, these guys are roommates. Like, oh, they're looking longingly at each other. Like that's not in this. Our dating story, the experienced you and the inexperienced me. The manga for this, people that I know in circles. Oh, at least next year we can get My New Boss's Mickey. Good, good. Yes, Chris. Good. Yes. Our dating story. The circles that I hang out in, which is often just discords. There's a big group of people that really love this manga, and I did not give this a chance. Because it just seemed boring. It just seemed very boring. I don't know. Nathan says, I didn't watch My Boss is Goofy, but I watched the clip where he gets a stray cat at least 20 times. Yeah. It's just a good time. It's just soothing. And sometimes you just want to watch a soothing anime. But yeah, our dating story. I just didn't watch it because I was like, this just doesn't seem. I don't know. I'm not done with high school romance, but I am less gung ho about high school romance. I'm looking for college and job romance. I think I'm 43, and I might be like I say that. Last year, 2022, two of my favorite shows were three of my favorite shows were high school based romance, so I can like those. I just wasn't interested in this one. Overtake. I want to love Overtake. I really want to. It's got so much heart, and it's in sports, but it's not sports. It is a coming of age story. But just like a bunch of like people that have passion and drive for a thing. I don't care about racing in this way. And if I did, I think that would push me over the edge. But like, please watch the first episode. See if you vibe with it, because this is a show that I had somebody who's like, Pat, I can't believe Overtake didn't make your top 10. And I was like, you are a very specific kind of person, and I respect and appreciate you, but that's not for me. But this is a show that I really wish I liked. I think I gave it 5 episodes, and I just trailed off. It's got a lot of heart, and I'm happy that it's out there for people. Paradox Live, the animation. I did not watch this. Y'all, sometimes saturated in hip-hop culture comes the birth of a new movement known as Phantom Live. Each of the artists have a metal accessory known as Phantom Metal, which chemically reacts to the wearer's emotions to produce an image, setting a magnificent stage for enthusiastic youths. There's none of that sentence, those 2 sentences, makes me go, I'm going to watch this. I think it's VTuber rap battles. I think that's what it is. But it's not VTubers. It's like hologram rap battles, I think. And we already had one of those this season. I don't know. Why is Club Paradox in quotes? But yeah, I know that sometimes I describe things in a way that is similar to how this is described. And I know that, right? When I talk about professional wrestling, sometimes I talk about the weirdest. I watched some of the weirdest professional wrestling in the modern era of wrestling. And I understand that sometimes I talk about things in a way that probably sounds like this. And I'm aware of that. But it still doesn't mean I'm going to watch this anime. Power of Hope, Precure, Full Bloom. Toei and Studio Dean working together. Studio Dean keeping getting work. Good for them. This is part of the 20th anniversary of the Precure franchise. And it is some of the children you love, as magical girls that you love as adults. And the fact that wrestling, yes, Crazy Coog, that not too long ago, a wrestling champion in DDT is a Christmas tree. I watched some weird shit when it comes to wrestling. But yeah, I'm not the target demographic for Precure. And especially them grown up, I respect Precure as a thing. I respect shoujo that is not twisted versions of it. It is not the cynical, dark take on magical girls. That's not what this is. This is just straight up more goddamn magical girls. And then they did a magical baby and a magical boy pretty recently. Like after like 19 years, they were like, there's a boy in this one and a baby. And it's like, okay, sure. I think the baby maybe came before the boy. I don't know. It's just not my thing, but I do respect that it's out there. Protocol, Rain. I feel like I didn't know this anime came out. I feel like this was not listed when I... Don't go back to call me out. But I feel like when I previewed the fall season, this was not on the list. Because I have no idea what this is. Crunchyroll has so much anime now that they and Funimation merged that they don't even really promote. Like, they used to promote all but like 2 shows every season. They would do clips of just about every show. A couple of them they wouldn't. There would always be a couple, but they would do most. Now they do like half or a third of their shows they promote on like YouTube and social media. But I feel like this one I was just like, no. This is the eSport. Okay, you know what? I'll take that back. While I have seen nothing about this, I do remember this is a let's save the esports cafe. This is let's put together an esports crew to save the esports cafe. I do remember that this exists. I didn't remember that it was called Protocol Rain, because that's not a good name for this. Ragna Crimson. This is an anime. This is a manga I never got into. The anime version of a manga I just never got into. Dragons and monsters and stuff. It's fine. Ron Kamoashi's Forbidden Deductions is a great name for an anime that I got very bored with. I want some detective stories. I like a good detective. Look, part of it is that the best detective anime already came out this year. Undead Murder Farce is the best detective anime show of the year, and there can be more than one, certainly. But I did not check this one out because more than like 2 episodes, it didn't pull me. Shangri-La Frontier is the other VR MMO game that anime that I was just like, no, thank you. Said this already for those that joined here in the live. Those that are watching the recording already saw this part. Bufuri is the exception to the rule, but I don't particularly enjoy anime or manga that is, here's a character playing a VR MMO game. Watch them play it. Like, it's just not. There needs to be a twist, and there is no real. The twist of this one is the game sucks. Okay. Shy. Shy looked kind of fucking cool, but I bounced right off of it. I wanted to like Shy more than I liked it because I like the idea of a girl who's just like, I have to be the hero. I don't want to be the hero. Um, Doodle says SLF is one of my favorites this season. It's junk food, but it's gourmet cupcake with extra sprinkles. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. It just doesn't do anything for me. Just the premise doesn't work for me um, in general. So yeah. Um, Shy. Yeah, again, I wanted to like Shy. I wish I liked Shy more. It's cute, but it just does like there's just so many hours in the day, you know. Uh, Spy Family season 2. Okay, so apparently some people think that I'm very harsh on Spy Family season 2. Um, I don't think I am. I think that I just like. What should I say? One of the big issues with anime based on manga, or even anime based on light novel, but I think particularly anime based on manga, is mangas don't shouldn't and often don't write like stories that fit neatly into 12 episode arcs or 24 episode arcs. So in season 1 of Spy Family, you have the main mission, but you have like events and you have like something that unfolds over the course of several episodes. And then that got finished, but there were still episodes left of Spy Family. So what you end up what ends up happening is you just have more good Spy Family. And season 2, there are big set pieces and there are big moments that need to happen, and we need to get to those moments. But most of Spy Family season 2 is just more Spy Family. And here's the thing. Spy Family fucking rules. So it's more of the stuff you like. It's more good dog. It's more good cute girl. It's more fun assassin and fun spy. And it's all great. But it doesn't move. So like I want more. Doodle says, I really like this season because it focused on Yor more. Yes, Yor gets to shine quite a bit. Yor did feel like a bit of a missing piece. There were pieces missing. I think I've talked about this before. The slime anime, a reincarnated as a slime. Um, the slime anime solved the problem of the pacing issue by skipping a bunch of the anime or the manga and light novel. It skipped a bunch of stuff in its first season, which was a double length. It like jumped ahead to get to a big action thing, like a big story, and then it did OVAs to fill in the gaps. And then season 2, they were like, actually, let's go back before he hangs out with those kids, and we'll just do a few episodes based on stuff that we skip from the source material. And I don't hate that. If you have enough source material to do that, because you want to like get to an arc where shit happens, because there's like so much that was like, well, we need another chapter for next month. I don't know. I've had this idea about like them infiltrating like an underground tennis tournament. We'll just make that an episode, you know? Like, well, don't you think we should heighten the arc where there are bomb dogs? Nah, let's just do a bunch of chapters that are just kind of goofy and silly. We'll do an episode we'll do a chapter of the manga that's just dedicated to Damien and his goofy, supportive friends. And it's like, that's great. But I don't know if that's paced well. That's my mini rant there. I think, see, look, here's the thing. As I said, Spy Family is still great. It's still one of the best shows of the year. I just wish that it wasn't just more of the stuff I liked. And it, I don't know. Maybe I'm being greedy. I'm probably being greedy. Uh, Stardust Telepath was the only show this season about girls doing things, and we have been bereft of girls doing things this year. What the fuck? We're getting it. We're getting it next season. We're getting it next year. But this year, the amount of anime that is about a bunch of girls coming together to do stuff together is like 3 shows, maybe. And one of them was a martial arts anime that just happened to be all girls, and so it wasn't really that. I mean, it was and it wasn't. It's more of a sports anime. Anyway, Stardust Telepath, I just didn't enjoy. I gave it 4 episodes. I just didn't enjoy it. Maybe some reveals later would make me like it more if I stuck with it, but I just didn't. I wish I liked it. No, I wish it was. You know what? No, I wish it was better so I could like it. Say that. Tier Moon Empire is like a time regression, second chance at life. If you like action series where the main character is not the one doing most of the action, like this is a fucking young princess, and basically through the power of people liking her a lot, shit happens. She has the chance to be not awful, and she does her best. And even though she's doing it so that she doesn't die again at the start, eventually she kind of just becomes a better person because she sees the world through the eyes of, so she gets to experience the good that comes with being not a little bastard. It's fine. I don't know if it's great, but it's fine. It didn't feel I didn't feel like I was forcing myself to watch it. I did not watch the 100 Girlfriends who I'm sorry, I'm going to make sure I get all these reallys here. The 100 Girlfriends who really 5 love you. The catch on this one, you've got to love them or they'll die. Like, I respect that they went so far to be like, no, you have to love them. You need to be in a harem. You've asked out 100 people in middle school, and none of them said yes. And for that reason, the God of love is just like, yeah, I'll make it up to you. Why? Who cares? It reminds me a little bit of the anime about the fox god who shows up to take care of the guy that works really hard every day and comes home and doesn't really have time to take care of himself. Where you're like, yeah, all right, this is cute, but fuck you. And that's kind of my feeling on this. Like, go fuck yourself. Be a little more selective. Ask out 100 more. I don't care. I didn't watch this. Maybe it's fucking great. Maybe I'm just an old mad dude. Helpful Fox Senko-san. Thank you, Doodles. Helpful Fox Senko-san. At least that show is cute. Even if at certain points I was like, yeah, all right. I need my harem protagonists to be full-fledged characters now. I didn't always need that, but I kind of need that. But also, I think back to Tenchi. Tenchi has stuff going on. Tenchi has wants and needs and some character choices that he makes. The Love Hina dude has something going on with him. I feel like not all of them. There are plenty of them that didn't, but like the To Love Ru guy doesn't really have much. But like some of them do have a personality. There's that professor one. There's a lot of girls in it that then they eventually made like a sequel series to. And he's reincarnated, but he doesn't know it. It's a whole thing. But there are some that get it. This one, nah, I'm all right. The Ancient Mage's Bride Season 2 Part 2. Hey, drama. This fucking anime is gorgeous. Okay, I've heard folks say this is a good deconstruction of the whole harem genre, but I didn't want to get involved. Yeah, I didn't want to get involved either. I kind of want to watch that one that is a harem isekai, or it's not a harem anime, that turns out that there's a huge weird twist to it. I kind of want to watch that one, but the twist comes so late that I was like, I'm all right. That was from last year. Anyway, Ancient Mage's Bride, Season 2, is goddamn gorgeous, and there is heartbreak in this one. It's a rough one. This can be rough. This is not cozy. It's not a cozy slice of life. It is a rough time sometimes. Pardon me. It is totally worth your investment and your time, in my opinion. Go back to the first season. Watch part 1 of season 2. Watch the bonus stuff that's out there. Chise is a best girl. She's just trying her goddamn best and really cool. Some of my favorite characters from season 1 are in this so that they can do another setting and introduce new characters. But those new characters are compelling and totally awesome. So, yeah, I think that... Sorry. There we go. Okay. Readjust this here. Yeah, I mean, main character goes to college and then fucking weird nightmare shit happens and cool shit happens and scary stuff happens. The anime is not afraid to put terrifying imagery right in your fucking face and then be like, okay, now what do you do? And I appreciate that. The Apothecary Diaries. She's so weird, and I love that about her. It's a 2-core. I'm not watching it weekly. I think I'm not up to episode 13 at this point, or episode 13 is coming out 10 days. So taking a week off, I guess, for the holidays. I did not know what to expect with this when it started. Because the idea of like, okay, she's raised to be an apothecary, but then she ends up at the palace. Circumstances happen. She's now a food taster, and people go to her for mysteries. And she's just like a fucking fully fledged. She is not like a girl like too smart for her own good. She's just so... She's got such a rich, like, vivacious personality and, like, a weirdo. She's a wonderful weirdo. And there's, like, some interesting dudes around her and some creeps around her and some interesting mysteries. And a whole lot of, like... One thing I do like about her is that, is how, like, sometimes she just, like, is just pissed. Yeah, yes, Doodles is one of Doodle's favorite shows of the year. And I can understand that. It didn't make my top 10, but it's pretty high. Again, I'm not caught up yet, but I am enjoying it. But yeah, it's lots of fun, weird mysteries. She's just like a ball. She's just like a very interesting lead. Yeah, you could do a lot fucking worse than that. I did not watch season 2 of Eminence in Shadow. I did not watch season 1 of Eminence in Shadow. It's an isekai, but it's a... I've described it as, what if the main character of the movie Kick-Ass got isekai'd and is also has such an overactive imagination and is mostly not aware. There's a lot of shit here that you just have to like you have to vibe to watch this. Okay? Because if you start picking it apart, like, how is the smartest and toughest man in the world this dumb? It's you because he has to be dumb for the plot to work. Um, Doodle says there was a big contest this season for who would be the biggest edgelord of the year, with shows like Ragnar Crimson. Yes, that's that. I didn't even mention that. That is an edgelord there. Kingdom of Ruin, Returner's Magic. A lot of them compress their edgiest moments into a single plane that can slice through planets. Yeah, Sid is the high there. I would say Kingdom of Ruin is probably the biggest edgelord because there's no humor in it. Events transpire in that show just to further break, like, most of the show revolves around, let's break this already broken person. Let's give this person hope and then break them some more. And then we'll give them some redeeming moments so that they can twist it around and break it again. And it's like, we'll get to that when we get to there. But yeah, I forget which one was. There was an edgelord early. We'll get back there. What was an early edgelord show that I can't remember. Returner is a little edgelord. It's not that edgelordy. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I don't remember what the edgelord anime was. I don't remember what it was. But there was an edgelord. Anyway, there's plenty of edgelord anime. I didn't watch this. I'm not gonna watch this. I didn't watch it the first time. I'm not gonna watch the second season of it. The Faraway Paladin, the Lord of Rust Mountain. So I am on record as saying that most of the first season of the Faraway Paladin is gorgeous and beautiful. And I like it less once our main character goes out in the world to basically be Jesus. When it's the story of a guy who can't remember, a isekai character who really can't remember his past except that he regrets the way he lived. He is swallowed up by his regret. Who is raised by the loving arms of basically zombies with personality that have kept their memories alive. And he is raised with love to be a healer and a magician and a warrior. And he is the sum of all of their parts. His father figure, his mother figure, and his grandfather figure, or his great uncle figure. And he takes all of that together to be fucking badass. And then he goes out into the world to he basically has to save this world and bring back and share the gospel of his goddess, a fallen, not remembered goddess, to increase her power, because it's a world of gods and goddesses. They fight some cool shit in this one. We get some new fun characters. We get people with drive and some folks that are in way over their head. You put a couple good, like, classic fantasy characters in there, and I'm on board. And like you put in some good dwarves, I'm on board. OLM and Sunrise do a great job with the show. It looks gorgeous. Yeah, do I wish everything was digital instead of some CGI monsters? Yes. But it's blended better than most do, so I don't mind it too much. It's pretty good. I would say you should check out Faraway Paladin if you didn't at first, and maybe you won't get through the whole series, but I do think that it is so beautifully, slowly, wonderfully paced. Will's an okay dude. I like him. The Idol Master Million Live. I did not watch this. This is just not my thing. The Kingdoms of Ruin. I have watched clips of this. This is the edgelordiest edgelord shit. This was the anime I was talking about where the guy is just like, they took everything from me, and now I'm going to take everything from them, including people who don't want that and people who do want that. They also, even though I'm doing what they want, I don't want them to do what I want them to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and I don't want to do it because of them. I want to do it because of me, and my pain is more important than anyone else's pain. And it's just like, fuck off. Sorry, Adonis. Um, yeah, no. No thanks. The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 3. I did not watch this. Season 2 was bad. The animation was quality was bad. The storytelling, pacing was bad. It was seemingly a bad interpretation of the source material. So I did not give season 3 a try. I believe like some stuff happened with some of the characters getting a chance to like be cool, and there's more fights with some of the other heroes, and there's like one of the characters becomes one of the heroes somehow, and like apparently there's some good shit in season 3. But they lost me at season 2 and they didn't get me back. God, yes, it's fucking Spirit Tortoise. God damn, what a fucking boring part of that arc. Hey, they made more of the Saint's magic power is omnipotent. I can't believe they made more of this. God, what a beautiful It's an isekai so that there is a proper setting for this fucking romance series. It's classic. This is classic shoujo romance bullshit in the best possible way. Bullshit with love. Oh, I love it. She's just a nice lady that tries hard and does a good job. Just a plain good lady. But because she's in a fantasy world, she's just fucking surrounded by dudes that are handsome as shit. And they all love him. They all love her. They're all great. And there's one that kind of sucks, because there's always one that sucks, but most of them don't suck. And it's just more of that. There's another girl who was the Saint, and like we're trying to like make sure she's okay. Also, there's a spin-off manga from her perspective that's fairly good. And yeah. Albert is great. The mercenaries are great. And like they're just having more love time. It's so good. And I can't believe they made more of it. When they announced it, I was deep into the manga, being like, well, this is the only way I'm going to enjoy this, because they're never going to make a second season of this show. And they did. And again, I know I said, oh, I want more plot. This is just more of the thing I like. But it's more of the thing I like. It's still real good. The Seven Deadly Sins, Four Nights of the Apocalypse. I didn't watch this. It's a sequel to Cursed by Light. I am not about to watch offshoots of the Seven Deadly Sins. No, thank you. If you liked it, I'm thrilled you get more of it. But no, I'm good. The Vexations of the Shut-In Vampire Princess. I didn't watch a second of this. Didn't watch a pure moment of this one. I love the premise about a shut-in who has to be in charge of an army, but I didn't end up checking this one out because I just didn't want to. Did High Dive have this? High Dive had this, yeah. The Yuzuki family's four sons. If you watched the first episode of this and you were like, did AI translate this? Why did Crunchyroll fuck this up? It's fixed. They fixed it. They went back and fixed it. Doodle says Vampire Princess was average. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. The Yuzuki family's four sons, that episode that had bad subtitles has better subtitles. Word on the street is that this is the thing. Here's the thing I know. When shows get licensed, there are a couple ways that they go about the subtitles, the translations, right? You can do it in-house, which is the rarest. You can have the licensee do it. And that's negotiated of, if we're going to do the dub, then we'll also do the subtitles and we'll do the scripts together. And then we'll be able to put it out on Blu-rays and yada, 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 and whatever. Or you can have a third party do it that you have worked with in the past. And you'll say, well, we're going to use this because of the way of our licensing deal goes. It seems like that's the case here. The Yuzuki family's Four Sons was done with a third party who seemingly used machine learning to translate it because it was very bad. It was comically, unbelievably terrible. It could have been that third party took some did some corners. It also could have been. I think it would be funny if 8-4 was their in-house translator. Yeah, I do not believe that is the case. It could have been that Crunchyroll sub-licensed out because their translators are contractors, right? The people that work on the scripts usually work on a single show. They're contractors for Crunchyroll. They are not paid enough. They are not given enough time. They are not given enough support in general. We can say this from their own mouths, right? It is generally passion more than it is career-oriented, which fucking sucks. But that's the same with a lot of the anime industry, and it fucking sucks. That has been fixed. So now you just have a wonderful, heartwarming show about a bunch of brothers with age discrepancies between them trying to support one another. And it's lovely and sad and heartwarming and gut punches galore. It's great. I didn't cover it weekly because I didn't want to be like, and then we have a flashback to their mom doing stuff. You know, of course, she's dead. And it's just like, oh, this is a weird show for me to recap. So I didn't recap it, but I was watching it. I did get caught up and then was watching it. Great performances. Shout outs to the old man from across the street. The old man who ends up becoming a babysitter sometimes. Because he's just great. He's a great supporting character. It's good. And I'm sad because I'm sure because there are plenty of people who watch the first episode of everything, right? They just go in, they kind of know what's going on, they watch the first episode. I bet there are a bunch of people who just never gave it a second shot. Tokyo Revengers Season 2 Part 2. Where did that end up? I am so behind on Tokyo Revengers. It's on Disney Plus and Hulu, I believe. It might be on Hulu. I know it's on Disney Plus internationally, but it might also be on Hulu. I'm so behind on Tokyo Revengers. The premise of Tokyo Revengers is so good, but I think the execution is kind of rough. The premise of my life sucks. I have the opportunity to make it better by going back in time. Oh no, I'm just a shitty kid. I'm just a shitty teen. So even if I know what's going to happen, I can't change the outcome of everything because I don't have the ability to do that other than to try really hard. I think it's a fun premise. I just think it's, I don't know. I think we get further and further away from that, and I get less and less interested. Pretty Derby Season 3. Congratulations to Beach Dairy and all my other weirdos who love, my lovable weirdos who love Pretty Derby. A weird sport, a horse racing anime of horse girls. I just can't. Horse anime, yes. Undead Unluck, I believe, yes, this was just on Hulu. I kept bouncing off the manga of this, and so I didn't watch a second of this. Oh, yes, Chris Weed, we'll jump back up here. it's a show about horse racing, but the girls are horses. They're horse girls. They're not girls who love horses. They are girls who are horses. They're anthropomorphized horses that do horse racing. So it's a little idle. It's a little like distance running. It's a lot of horse racing. It's on its third season. And there are people that fucking love it. There's a lot of that like sports anime in there. It's just those sports anime moments are for horse girls. No. Undead Unluck is fine. I didn't get Hulu to watch it. I didn't order Hulu just to watch this. Eventually I will watch this because I want to check it out. The premise of I want to die and you're so unlucky that maybe someday your unluck will cause me to die, and I think that's kind of fun. But I don't really enjoy the manga, and so I don't know. And then Under Ninja, which I feel like I read this description like a dozen times this year. Just ninjas in plain sight. I don't know. There must have been another manga, or there must have been another anime this year that also was an anime about ninjas. I don't know. We're now going to get into the TV shorts, which I didn't watch any of the TV shorts because I think only one of them got here. So we're going to... nobody picked up Rail Romanesque 2, which is a show about girls who are the girl... they're artificial robotic girls that are the conductors of trains, and they have the personalities of the train lines and what the area is famous for. And the first season, they're shorts. The first season came out, and for whatever reason, the first season ended up on Funimation and Crunchyroll when they were separate companies. That both of the companies had Rail Romanesque, and I don't know why. And each episode was about one or two of the trains. And it's also incredibly gay. It's subtext gay, but it's very gay. And no one picked up season 2. So I have not seen season 2 of Rail Romanesque. I have not tried to hunt it down through nefarious means to watch it. I don't know if it's gayer or just as gay or they took the gay out of it. But it's a weird idea. And yeah. Let's go through the shorts here. A lot of these shorts are for kids and they don't get subtitles because the age demographic wouldn't watch it. And American sorry, it's a Western, I should say, probably just Western children's programming doesn't dub it. Like Molcar should just be on like Prime. You should be able to, as like Prime Kids, you should have Molcar. It's weird they don't. Dark Gathering, I did not check out. This adaptation of Kitaro is apparently very good. I just didn't watch it. Helk. Fucking Helk. God fucking damn it. Yes. Molcar is a show about, it is a show that is made to look like stop motion of fuzzy hamster cars. And there's almost no dialogue. It's cute. Helk is a bait and switch. You see this here? You see this tag here? Comedy? You see that tag that says comedy for Helk? This fucking comedy series, it stops being a comedy. The first couple episodes of Helk whip ass. There's the demon lord, one of the demon lords. There are several demon lords. One of the demon lords has been defeated, and there's a tournament to decide who's going to be the next demon lord. And demons from all over the demon realm show up to figure out who's going to be the next demon lord. And one of the people who is fighting to be the new demon king, I should say, sorry, is Helk. Helk is a human hero. He is the brother of the person that defeated that demon king. Why is a human named Helk trying to be the next demon king? And here's the thing. He's great. Demons start really liking him. And he's like, hey, I really want to defeat the human king that keeps fighting you guys. I hate humans. They betrayed me. They suck. I want to become the next demon king. And when I do, we're going to take on the humans. And they're all like, okay. And then a couple people are like, wait, no, what the fuck? And it's funny. And they're like trying to sabotage him and it doesn't work. And it's great. And then the humor stops because then we get the tragic backstory of why Helk wants to do this. And there's a flashback that takes like 7 episodes. 7 or 8 episodes. And when I realized that like that must have been a year of manga because it's at least 2 chapters per episode, if not 3 chapters out of a monthly series. Well over a year of that manga was flashback. I wasn't into it. Helk starts off awesome, and then I finished it because I wanted to, but I wasn't into it. Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 at the time of this recording has not wrapped up. It will very soon. Oh boy. I'm so many minds for this. Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 was on my top 10 list. As I started writing out my list and preparing what I wanted to say about this, I wasn't focusing on the anime. I was focusing on the treatment of artists and animators and support staff at MAPPA and how they're fucking going through it there. Culture is bad there. And it literally affects the product because there are episodes that look like trash. And I'm not going to import the Blu-ray of this to get good quality episodes. To me, those episodes are always going to be trash. And it just sucks. And MAPPA just sucks for what they're doing. And so it couldn't end up in my top 10 list, even though there are episodes of this 2-part season that are incredible, that are gut-wrenching and gorgeous looking, and are animated so vividly, and the action is fantastic, and the fucking plot is moving forward. And it's just great fights, and looking at some awesome characters, and getting some plot that we like, filling in some blanks from previous shit. But also, it's not that great of an arc in parts either. I didn't watch JJK season 2, but seeing the animes only react to the Shibuya arc was great. Still hate where the story goes after this. Yeah, I'm not the biggest supporter of this arc. I think there's some beauty to it, and there's some shit that I'm just like, I don't fucking give a shit about this. But MAPPA needs to clean up their act and fix their shit, because some of this looked like ass, and that's a shame. I did not watch a single fucking minute of Rurouni Kenshin. Get the fuck out of here. They did not need to they did not need to be a new Rurouni Kenshin manga, and there certainly did not need to be a new Rurouni Kenshin anime. This is such a waste of people's time and talents and energy. Linden Films, fuck off. We don't need fucking more Kenshin. Fuck out of here. Shadow vs. Flame, Seven Shadows arc. Did not watch that. Is that picked up? Yeah, Crunchyroll has it. Okay. And then movies, we'll see here if there's any of the movies that I watch. Any of these movies. Uh, Theatrical cut of the Thorny. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. I do want to watch the part 4 of Girls und Panzer because they're making 6-part movie. I do want to watch that. I haven't seen it. I do want to. Kind of The Great Snow Sea, which is a sequel movie. Didn't see that. Kitaro, Gigi no Zao movie. Didn't see that. Would like to. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think I saw. Was the awful AI anime corridor digital video this year? I believe so. My Next Life is a Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom, the movie. I want to see it. I love it. I love the anime. I want to see it. I haven't seen it. Does Crunchyroll actually have it? I'm going to look this up. This is the thing. I forgot this came out this month in December. I don't think that. Why did I get logged out of Crunchyroll? God damn it. I'm doing this. I'm not doing this live. I'm doing this live, but I'm not doing it for you here. Or on screen anyway. What? Motherfuckers. There we go. I don't know why that happened there. Let me see. My Next Life. Did they pick up the movie here yet? Usually they do. So let's see. My Next Life is Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom. What do we got here? We've got season 2. We've got the season 2 OVA, which is good. Did we get the movie? We did not get the movie yet. The OVA is there for season 2, so watch that if you haven't. I gotta watch this. I really like My Next Life is a Villainous, All Routes Lead to Doom. So I want to see that. Paul Princess the movie, Precure movie. The Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out was Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girls. Yeah. I don't enjoy any of that. Some people really do love this series, but it's not for me. Spy Family Code White. Have not seen that. Do want to see it. Do want to see Spy Family movie. Let me. The Concierge is a thing that I really want to see this. I want to see this Concierge movie because the animation production IG is great. This looks really fucking good. I want to see this. And then some specials and OVAs. Attack on Titan final season, the final chapter, special 2 came out. They finished the fight, everybody. Oh, also within the specials, we're going to see Netflix series because if it all comes out at once, any chart lists it as a special or an OVA. It's weird, but that's how they do it. Attack on Titan final season, the final chapters, special 2. They finished the fight. I did finally watch it. Yeah, all right. Seems to me, I want to see the Concierge too. Really looks great. Yeah, right? The manga, is a shit ending, and they can only do so much, but I did like it better than the manga, so, all right. More Baki aired. Baki Hanma Season 2. If you like Baki and Baki Hanma, you get more Baki. So, yeah. It's more of that shit. Detective Pikachu and the Mystery of the Missing Flan. I don't think we got that here. That seems kind of cool. Assemble Stars. I don't know what that is. That Goodnight World kind of looked cool, but I didn't end up watching it. One more episode got crowdfunded of Dropkick My Devil. Dropkick on My Devil. That's cool. They keep fucking getting more episodes and specials made, and that's awesome. Uh, and these are mostly shorts and little nonsense things. OVAs that come with some manga that we don't get. UA Battle Heroes that did air this season. Onimusha. I've heard okay things about Onimusha. I have not seen it. I have heard mixed things, but some people liked this this arc or this small story. Um, just trying to see if I watch. Okay, I haven't watched Pluto, everybody. I know I haven't watched Pluto. It's on my list. I do have Netflix right now for a show that's not going to be on this list, but I'll talk about it when this is done. I should watch Pluto. I'm gonna watch Pluto. I will watch Pluto. There's Pokemon Concierge, Princess Principal. Oh, they listed it, did they? Oh, okay. After much consternation, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is listed on AniChart. You know, when I was doing previews for this season, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off was not listed because AniChart / Annie List did not consider it as an anime because the target audience was not Japan, supposedly. But it was made by Science Saru. It's definitely a fucking anime. So I am pleasantly surprised to see it did eventually end up being listed here. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is fucking great. It made my top 10. You should check it out. It's on Netflix. It's the reason I got Netflix again, was to watch this. It's 8 episodes. You can get through it. If you're like, I've seen Scott Pilgrim, watch the first episode. See how you feel. They'll get minis for that. I would love to watch the Freerin shorts. They're on the YouTube channel. I might have to try to watch that. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Visions of Coleus is fine. All of the thing with the that time I got reincarnated as a slime OVAs and movies is some of them are from the manga and some of them aren't, or the light novels. And sometimes I don't know what they are. And occasionally they're very good, but the first 2 OVAs are bad. So sometimes the OVAs are great. They're just stuff that wasn't in there. This got listed for some reason. I think it came out all at once on Amazon. So this was an Amazon Japan series, so it came out all at once, but then came out weekly for the rest of the world. Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy is fucking fine. It's popcorn. It's a popcorn series. I don't think it's great, but I think it's okay. The same thing the same thing happened. Crunchyroll ran this weekly, but I think this ran all at once somewhere else. The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch is a fun comedy. It features my actual favorite. You can't really see him there. My favorite support character is a phoenix that they named Phoenix that looks like a weird bird and acts like a cat. But Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch is very cute and fun. I recommend it quite a bit. It's not the best show this season, but it's totally enjoyable. It's a goofy comedy about a mother and daughter who just want to spend time together, and neither wants to date, but a lot of people want to date them, and it's pretty good. And I didn't watch Idolmaster Girls. All right. Holy shit. This is the longest I think I've gone in the first portion. I don't want to say half, because I'm not going to go another hour. The first portion of this video, there was just so much anime at the end of the year for me to talk about. Let me drink some water. I think this stream is going to go long enough that like ads are going to air. Like I'm going to have to take an ad break during it, which will be frustrating for people. Okay. Now let's jump to winter 2024. They made a lot of animes this year. They did. They did a lot of anime. Okay. Sorry. Pardon for a second here. Okay. No, I'm going to say this a lot in this video, friends. And by the time this comes out on my YouTube, which will be 6 days from now, some of this will be decided. Some of this will be figured out. But right now, we don't know. High Dive does a pretty good job of letting people know this is the shows that we picked up. There's occasionally a couple surprises, but they usually do a pretty good job. Crunchyroll promotes a bunch of stuff and then doesn't promote a bunch of other things. And sometimes you just have to be like, okay, if Crunchyroll picked this up, it should be on the Crunchyroll site today. Maybe they're going to update it now, and you don't know. So far, no one has picked up this fucking awesome little gay love story. The show I liked most this past season, this past year, and this past decade just happens to be Frieren. There you go. Yeah. So far, no one has picked up this yet. About a guy that can read minds, and he reads the minds of a guy that wants to date him. Also, he got that power because he's a 30-year-old virgin. That is a thing that, you know, if you're a virgin for a certain amount of time, you can become a wizard. Is like a weird meme, I guess is the best way to say it. Folklore is probably the better way to say it. So, unfortunately, it has not been announced that anyone has picked this up yet. We got adults. Trope. Yeah. Rubik Dark Will. Trope is probably a good term there. Because it's not just that it appears in pop culture, which certainly makes it a trope. It also just is like a weird thing that people would say to virgins, I guess, in Japan. It was like, oh, well, what magic can you use? Like, ha ha ha, you're a virgin. But yeah, I want to watch this. I hope someone picks it up because I've heard very good things about this. You know, very good things about the manga. Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. It's an isekai. You know I'm going to watch this isekai. I've enjoyed the manga of this. I look forward to checking this out. Her life just fucking ends in death, and then she gets another chance. And a thing that comes in kind of early in the story that I'll say here, which so her seventh life, she's like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this work. She runs into the prince who has been responsible for her death several times. But even the times where he's not directly involved in her death, she realizes, I think this is important to say, she realizes, well, the war that happened every other time, it was either the war led to my death or directly this dude, but he's the guy that started the war. So maybe she can prevent the war? And that will, like, maybe allow her to continue to live. It's pretty cool because she is using her experiences every time and every different life that she led to hopefully help her out. So she's like pretty overpowered, at least knowledge-wise. It's good, so I'm looking forward to it. A Sign of Affection feels very heavy-handed. This feels like, well, one, it does feel like a cool romance series. It's about a deaf girl that ends up meeting a guy that isn't weird about her being deaf, which is such a low bar. But also, I understand. Like, I can understand very much the inkling of, or the instinct of, oh, I have a crush on this person that's nice to me. Like, I get it. But it does feel like, okay, I mean, hopefully he's a better dude than he's just nice. He's not a shit. But yeah, the travels of the world with her is kind of fun. And if the support cast is good, I might give this a go. Crunchyroll's picking it up. Yeah, I don't know. It could be very heavy-handed, and it could be very, like, kind of dismissive. I don't know. So we'll see. Blue Exorcist. There's more Blue Exorcist. No one has this right now, I believe. Yeah, nobody has this right now. But there's more Blue Exorcist coming. I I'm aware of Blue Exorcist, but I'm not like into it. But I like it's one of those shows I've seen more clips on YouTube of than actually full episodes. But like, I don't know. The main character's trying his best. He's like a good boy. He's trying his best. Respect it. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah. Banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Season 2. We're getting more of it. Here's the thing. The anime is still season 1 of the anime is still ahead of the manga because this got adapted. The manga hadn't been out that long when this got adapted into an anime. Of course, it's based on a light novel, which the manga is also based on, of course. But what I'm saying is, in the manga, we haven't gotten to the end of the anime, and I really love this story, and I get more of it in anime form. I don't know what else is going to happen here because it kind of fucking wraps up pretty well the first season, but we're getting more of the thing I like. I like Red. I think he's fun. You know, he ends up with an apothecary with his a girl that had a crush on him. He didn't know at the time had a crush on him, and then they end up in a relationship, like a legit one. It might just be more of the same. Like, I don't know if there's going to be some action. Like, there's probably going to be some bullshit, but I don't know. Also, there's an assassin girl with a spider friend. She's got a spider friend. And that spider rules. A great little character. Bottom tier character. Happy for your specific on that one, Pat. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I did not watch the first season of Bottom Tier Character. I will give them credit for calling it Second Stage instead of Season 2. Calling it Second Stage for a, kind of RPG game-inspired high school story, slice of life, I think is pretty good. So good on them for calling it Second Stage. But I didn't... Like, that guy sucks, and then the anime is about making him suck less, and I was like, I don't need to see that. Second Stage, like in Chicago. Yeah, no, it's not that Second Stage. Bukigiri. Mappa, this is, I believe, their Beat Squad, the Beat team for Mappa, is doing this show. Crunchyroll picked this up. It is a battle anime that this art, like this, is this based on, no, this, okay, so here's the thing, right? This is an original. Why does it look like art from the early 2000s, though? Like, this looks like a anime adaptation of a manga from the late 90s that came out in the early 2000s. But it's an original. So they're just like it's got to be a vibe, right? It's got to be like, we want to make an early 2000s looking at ass anime. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's going to be great. The shadow of a giant genie looms over them. That's the genie, I imagine. I don't know. Maybe it whips ass. It's an original, so I don't know. The trailer didn't give me much to go on. Maybe it's great. Card Fighter, we can just skip that. Chained Soldier. Yuki Wakura watches as dueling supernatural forces ravage the earth. Mado are portals to another dimension, avenues from which dangerous monsters escape. Peaches are resources given to women, granting them abilities. If nothing else, shonen fans will be eating well. Totally. So this is ecchi. This is fucking using the anti-demon core. Yuki saves from a monster. Yuki holds the power to increase the Peach's effectiveness, but to save the world, Yuki must be willing to become the servant, both on the battlefield and at home. Dude makes ladies better so they can fight better. If you're like, I've heard of this anime before. No, this is just a trope. I think Eros Fighter was the other one, where it was like they're childhood friends, but now he needs to get her horny so she can fight monsters better. That was an anime. Heroes, maybe? You mixed up Second City and Second Stage. Yes. Classroom of the Elite Season 3. Hey, Classroom of the Elite fans, if you're watching this, I don't like the anime that you like. You're getting 13 more episodes. Legitimately, congratulations for getting more fucking episodes of this show that I don't think is good. But I'm glad you're eating so well, and you're getting so many seasons of the show that I think is bad. But it's the third semester. So at some point, it's going to end. So enjoy it. Dungeon Meshi, Delicious in Dungeon. I'm going to call it Delicious in Dungeon. I'm not going to call it Dungeon Meshi. Trigger, while I do think that Trigger's best works are adaptations of other things like this, I am a little worried that they're going to make Dungeon Meshi horny. I don't know quite how you make Dungeon Meshi horny, but if any studio could make this horny or hornier, because it's a little horny in there, it would be Trigger. So I know some people were like, oh, Trigger's doing it? Fuck yeah. And I was like, oh no, Trigger's doing it. Oh no. Also, they're doing 2 kind of high profile anime this year because they're doing Panty and Stocking 2. So finally, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm a little worried that it's delicious, that Dungeon Meshi is going to suffer a little bit. It's really good. Episode 1 came out in July, but I haven't heard anything because it came out because I didn't look it up. I didn't look up any info on it. But some people have seen the first episode. Delusional Monthly Magazine. This seems weird. It's an original. Crunchyroll picked it up. There's like, I don't know, some scientists. I don't know what's going on here. It's weird. Dr. Elsie, the royal lady with the lamp. Yeah, I know. That might be like, I seemed a little dismissive of Delusion Monthly Magazine. It's a great weird name. It looks wild. The city is called, the town is called Most City. It just seems like OLM is just trying to make a really weird show, and that sounds great. And maybe I'll love it. Maybe it'll be unbelievable. Dr. Elsie, this is, yeah. This is kind of interesting. So it is a, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to sneeze at some point. There we go. I could feel it coming. So this is a regression and a reincarnation story, but not a real regression. It's weird. So she dies, and then she gets reborn, and she's a doctor. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. And then she dies, and then she's back to being Elsie 10 years after, or 10 years before. So it is a regression. But so it's a time regression, but also she had it's a reincarnation story. But it's not an isekai because it's the same world, I think, but it might be an isekai. I don't know is if she's a doctor in the same world. But it's weird. Kind of interesting. I like the concept of it. But again, I don't know if this is an isekai. Because I don't know if when she is the doctor, if that's a different world. But maybe that doesn't matter. Anyway, it seems neat. I do know this is an isekai. Fluffy Paradise, y'all. This is for me. This is one of my isekais, right? Fluffy Paradise is going to be the cute show that I get diabetes from, right? It's the same. It's an age-old story. Guy dies of overwork. He gets sent to another world with with a power, or lady, I should say, which is hang out with cool animals that want to hang out. Sorry, what's happening here? What's going on? There we go there, and then scroll there. Yeah, cool monsters that want to hang out. Everybody wants to hang out. But also, each episode streams 1 week earlier. Okay, so it's coming out early on a streaming service, and then it'll be out on TV, and then we'll get it on Crunchyroll when it airs on TV, basically. But yeah, she just wants to hang out with animals. It seems cool. But also she's there. She's there with the explicit, like, he's like, hey, prove to me that humans should exist, which is a lot to ask one person, but it's neat. Hey, remember how there was a horny anime coming out? There's another one. This one's, I think, worse. I think this one is worse. Gushing over magical girls. No, I'm not going to watch this. Yes, it's a horny Yuri anime. It's a Yuri magical girl horny anime. I'm not gonna watch that. High Card season 2. I didn't watch High Card, so I'm not gonna watch High Card season 2. Yes. Hime-sama Gomon no Jikan Desu. This is a comedy about a girl that gets kidnapped but is having a very good time. And I have not checked out the manga, and I don't know. There's like a lot of fun characters. There's a lot of fun looking characters in here. And I don't know if the Demon Army is bad at their job or she's just happy to be out of being a prince. I don't know. I might watch this. I don't know. Nobody's picked it up yet, but that obviously could change at time of this recording. Hokkaido gals are super adorable. I don't know about this. Sleeping Princess is popular. Let's try to replicate it. Yeah, pretty much. Sleeping Princess owns. So, Hokkaido gals are super adorable. Like, I love the idea of, if I remember correctly, this dude moves from the big city to Hokkaido, and the first person he meets is a gal. And she's so psyched that he's from the big city that she wants to hang out with him. And it turns out that, like, country gals aren't mean. They're just doing what they think gals are. It's more about aesthetics than, like, the vibe. And they're all sweethearts and adorable. And that seems to be the anime. I don't know. I'll watch one episode of that. See what's up. Maybe it's fun. It could be not for me, but maybe I'll give it a shot. The only Hokkaido gal I want more of is Hayagusha Kuzoku. Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. Sure. All right. Doodles. Okay. Ishura. Ooh, I don't know if I looked at this here. In a world where the demon king has died, a host of demigods capable of felling him have inherited the world. Okay, a bunch of characters. Eager to attain the title of one true hero, these champions each pursue challenges against formidable foes and spark conflicts themselves. The battle determined the mightiest of the mighty begins. That didn't tell me enough. Disney. Okay, great. That's on Disney Plus, so I don't have to worry about it. Maybe it'll be on Hulu too, but I don't have to worry about that then. Okay, great. I mean, like, the Skull Man here makes me go, huh? But that, okay. Demon King is dead, and a bunch of people are doing their shit. Kingdom 5th season. Congratulations, Kingdom fans. You get the 5th season of the anime you like. Studio Pierrot continues to make the anime you like. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, what is this one? Yeah. This is the Day Off anime, right? I've never read this manga, but people really like this show. Again, as I said, I've never read this, but I know people really like it. It's just like the villain's day off. Yeah, I know some people that really enjoy this. I don't know if I'm going to check it out. It's a cute manga. Yeah, Mr. Villain's Day Off. That's what it is. Yes, thank you. I mean, there's a panda right in there and some twins. I mean, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Nobody's picked it up at time of this recording. But maybe we'll check it out. Hey, guess what? Crunchyroll is going to run the second season of Mashle. I'm hard on Mashle. A1 Pictures did a great job with it. I just like... I just think I've been there and done that. Like, yeah, he punches stuff. Like, more shit's going to happen. We're getting into more shit with our boy. But, like, I don't know. At a certain point, what if One Punch Man went to a wizarding school? Like, we kind of know the answer to that. And yeah, he makes friends along the way, and it's fun and deadpanned a lot of the times. But, like, I don't know. Maybe it fills the hole in my heart. It doesn't fill the hole in my heart for, Mob. It's no, he's not Mob. I don't know if anybody can be Mob. But I don't know. I'm just not as jazzed about it as some people are. But I'm glad they're making more of it for the people who are really into it. Meijin Gekken 1874. People love making anime and manga and light novels set in this time period, and I understand that, but just no, I think I'm good. This is going to be one of those things where, like, 5 episodes in, someone's going to send me a clip of it and being like, I can't believe you're not watching this. And I'll be like, all right. And then I'll watch it and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm all right. Like, I bet there's some cool ass shit in this anime, but I don't think it's going to hold my attention. Metallic Rogue, Humans and Androids. The story follows Rogue, an android girl who's on a mission on Mars with her partner Naomi. The mission is to murder 9 artificial humans who are hostile to the government. Well, I kind of want to know what's going on there. What's up with that? It says it's a mecha series. Is that a mech? Do they pilot a mech? You're saying Bones is making an original mecha series? Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to watch the first episode. I don't know. That sounds kind of fucking cool. I don't know. I'll try it. Hey, I'm not going to tell you to watch this. My instant death ability is overpowered. Oh boy, the manga from this. You know how I was talking about how Helk had like 7 to 9 episodes that were all flashback? I don't think we're going to get the flashbacks in the first 12 episodes of this, because I don't think it's a 2-core. Maybe it's a 2-core. But this manga, at a certain point, they're just like, okay, fine, we'll fucking tell you why this guy is the way he is. And it takes forever to do that. It is bonkers how long it takes to tell you how this dude ended up this way. It basically becomes a different manga. And I don't even know if they'll do that. I don't think they're going to get there. Look, I love this concept of this guy got isekai'd. The whole class got isekai'd. And this guy got isekai'd. He didn't wake up when other people did. They left him for dead, but it doesn't fucking matter because this guy has a magic ability that has nothing to do with being isekai. He already had that ability on Earth. Now he is here in this fantasy world with instant death ability. He can just be like, die, and you die. And if you threaten him, you die. And he's deadpanned as hell and doesn't feel like a full-fledged person for most of it. And then you have the girl who's just like, what am I going to fucking do here? And then their partnership happens, and there's some scummy dudes, and there's a bunch of other shit that's happening that's wild and weird. But the major thing to know about this anime is, it's just fucking strange. And like I said, it's funny, but there's deadpan humor. And I don't think it's good. I don't think the manga's good. But I do like it, so I am going to watch this anime. But again, I don't think you should. Is this going to be High Dive get this? High Dive got this. Okay, High Dive got this. All right, well, good. Now I know my subscription to High Dive, at least one show. Okay, here we go. We did it, everybody. We got to it. It's here. Pon no Michi. Did High Dive pick this up too? Let me check here. YouTube, TikTok. Okay, no one picked this up yet. Somebody has to pick this up for me. For me. Your friend Pat needs this. I don't give a shit about Mahjong, but this is an anime about girls who play Mahjong together, and I want to see that. We need more girls doing things anime. So I really hope that someone picked this up. They have fun, cook, have tea, and sometimes play Mahjong. So they don't even always play Mahjong. It's just a thing. It is just a reason to put these characters together. I want it. Somebody better fucking pick that up. Crunchyroll. I hope someone picks that up. I would pick up the anime for a few million, but I just bought a Steam Deck. I understand, Chris. I appreciate it. Oh god, this is it's the Tamer. This anime, I'm surprised this got made an anime. This is like the lowly tamer slime tamer who picks up trash. I feel like they're probably going to really condense the like the first few bits of it and get to like I wouldn't be surprised if they start kind of deep into the story and then flashback, because this takes a while to really get going. But yeah, this is just a girl who's like just like nobody gives a shit about her, and she ends up leaving and running away because the only person that kind of cared about her passes away. And so she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to do my best. But the slime she manages to tame is pretty awesome, and she's a good person, and then she meets cool people along the way. But there's some bullshit going on in the manga right now, and we'll probably get to it in the anime, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I am surprised it's got picked up. Nobody has it right now. Or I'm surprised this is coming out as an anime. I don't know if anyone's going to pick it up. But isekais usually do. This show has not been picked up by anybody yet, and it will be, because this is an action series that is not an isekai. This is a Banish. This is a Banish/Kicked series. It is a cut out of the hero's party. The guy can only defend, and eventually people are like, hey, why do you suck at defending? This is a world where not a lot of people, very rarely do people have the appraisal skill, and everyone has demerits their own skills, but no one knows what the demerits are. You just kind of figure it out as you go. He finds a girl that can use appraisal, and she explains what his skill is. And it turns out he is very overpowered. He was always overpowered, but he's even more overpowered now that he's aware of his limitations, which he wasn't before. He shouldn't have been kicked out in the first place. He's trying to find a treasure. This series is a little weird because his sister is I thought she was like tsundere about her brother, or she had a brocon complex, a brother complex, brocon. But no, she's just like incredibly depressed that her illness is holding her brother back, which it's not. But whatever. Um, this is a pretty fun manga, and I haven't read the light novel. Nobody's picked it up yet. I'm gonna watch it because I like it. Sasaki and Peeps is an isekai. What we got a note here? First aired. The first episode is a 16-minute runtime. Sasaki and Peeps is the isekai that people who say they don't like isekais might enjoy. Because the dude goes and finds a bird, and then he meets a bird, and the bird talks to him, and the bird is like, "Hey, I need your help." And then he gets sucked into a world, another world with Peeps, his talking bird, who is also a mage. And I've heard incredibly good things about this light novel. I do not believe this has a manga adaptation, so it's just a light novel. But also, it does involve magical girls. You can see there's magical girls in here. There's magical girls and a very low-key businessman main character. And I'm fucking psyched about this shit. Someone explained Sasaki and Peeps as salaryman buys pet bird played by Aoyuki. And I went, stop drilling, you hit oil. There is a manga. Doodles, thank you. I did not know there was a manga. I have not seen it. It has not crossed my my eyes. Also, I believe he calls him the bird Peachon, but it was translated as Peeps. So I might refer to that bird as Peachon, because that's good. Sengoku Yoko, Humans and Monsters. We got a monster that loves humans. And then her brother, Peachon, yeah. She loves humans. He hates humans. And then there's a swordsman. And there's a plot to experiment on humans to turn them into monsters. This sounds fucking bargain basement. Is this based on a video game? It is based on a manga. This felt very much like it was based on a video game. Maybe it's great. Hey, they're making more Shaman King. First off, in 2021, they redid Shaman King. What? Is this going to be on Netflix too? This is not on Netflix. Holy shit. It felt like that was the reason they did Shaman King, was Netflix helped pay for it, but the sequel's not going to be on there. All right. This is about the son of Yo and Anna, so it's in the future from the ends of the events. Okay, this is a battle within the family and the son. Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch this. I respect Shaman King for coming back. It felt like real weird. Didn't make sense to me why they were remaking Shaman King, but sure. They're going to make more of it? Sure. Snack Basu. I bet nobody picks up this because it's, yeah, I bet no one picks this up. Yeah, this is just a bar, like weird people that work at a bar. Why is this an anime? That'd be better as a series of shorts. Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch 22 minutes of this, like 12 episodes. But I also don't think I'll have a chance to, because I don't think anyone's going to pick it up. Maybe they will. All right, here we go. This is the number one most anticipated of the viewers that said, "Oh, this is what I'm anticipating." All right, Solo Leveling. God, I hope A1 Pictures is a great choice. Oh, I should say, Crazy says, I don't know if it's next season, but the only one I'm interested in is the Sentai one with the character complex from The Boys. I don't know if that's this season. We might get to that, Crazy Scoop, but I don't know. Solo Leveling. This is my most anticipated of the season. Obviously, I want the Mahjong Girls one to come out. But holy shit, Solo Leveling. It's here. This is a manhwa. This is the manhwa that, I mean, there are some that people are familiar, right? Like, God of High School definitely had a breakout, did really well on social media. The anime adaptation did well. People that know the manhwa and webtoon were mad at the anime adaptation for skipping a bunch of stuff, but the anime adaptation is still fucking rad, and clearly made with love. Noblesse didn't really hit. There are other manhwa that have come and gone, and people have tried. High Guardian, I want to say. I don't. There have been a few, right? This is the one that might break through. Oh, we are getting. We're going to get some ads. I'm going to snooze. I'm going to snooze the ads as long as I can because I'm going to try to end this live recording before we get ads. So my apologies, friends. But I'm going to try to snooze them as long as I can. We're almost there. Solo. I'm not going to rush, but I'm going to try to get through it. Solo Leveling. Holy shit! It fucking whips ass. This is the manhwa that might break through. It spawned a dozen copycats. The idea of had been done before. All these ideas have been done before. It is a fantastic a small regression, overpowered, use the system RPG settings, a world of guilds and hunters and an underdog and weird alternate realities and monsters and friendships and a plethora of characters and a guy just trying his fucking best. And I don't even know if by the end of this season he will be as kick-ass as he gets, but this fucking dude gets so cool. Please give it a shot. I didn't watch the first season of this. I'm probably not going to watch part 2. Tales of Wedding Rings. Tells her she's going back to her home world to get married. And he's like, I'll break up the wedding. But also, he's like, no, I want to marry you. Turns out marrying her means that he's going to be a hero and get a bunch of power and he's got to save the world. Seems fine. It's a harem OP MC show. Yeah, dirty. Tales of Wedding Rings is the most like, look, it's cool that he was like, no, what, you're going to go fucking married? No. No. And then stuff. But like, sure, Crunchyroll's I'm going to watch the first couple episodes. The Dangers in My Heart Season 2, I didn't watch the first season of this. I know some people really liked it. It didn't hit for me. The first episode didn't hit for me. I never went back to it. Again, it takes a lot for me to be interested in a high school romance show, even a slow burn one. Yeah. Also, I believe this show stopped maybe I'm wrong. I think this was the show that aired a few episodes and then had to postpone the rest of it. But I might be wrong. Demon Prince of the Momochi House. This is a fucking fun premise. She inherits a house and she shows up, but there's a bunch of dudes there. And at least one of them, if not all of them, are already yokai. And they're like, yeah, no, I work here. I think that could be fun. I think this premise is pretty strong. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm interested in checking it out. Fire Hunter Season 2. I gave Fire Hunter a fucking chance. I watched all of the Fire Hunter Season 1 because people said it was great. I do not agree. I think it looks gorgeous, but I do not think it is good. So there's a second season of that. Great for fans of the first season. The Foolish Angel and the Dances with the Devil, which is a good name. I do not think this is an isekai. So I probably won't check out any of it, but I also don't think it seems interesting. But yeah. It's kind of Romeo and Juliet, but, maybe it's good. Oh, yeah, here we go. The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. This is not an isekai. This is another what happens when a guy who's trying his fucking best has the opportunity to grow incredibly after he died. This manga, the last couple chapters got really fucking weird with it. In a manga that's already really fucking weird, it got weirder. Rent is just a fucking cool character. It's kind of almost a slice of life action series in that it really does take its time to try to figure out where it needs to go, and piecing the puzzle together of what's going on with this guy and how he can evolve, and great character work. Big fan of The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. I recommend. We're almost done here. I'm going to beat the ads, and also I've been talking now for too long. The Witch and the Beast does not do anything for me. Yeah, maybe this rules, but this does not mean anything to me looking at it. I feel like this is probably another Edgelord series. It's got Edgelord vibes to it. The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. This is not the shitty one. The creepy, fucked up one about the guy who's a healer that is mistreated, and then he heals the world in order to rewind time to fix it, but he does it in fucked up ways and gets his revenge. It's really fucked up. That's not this one. That's out there. Redo the hero. Don't watch it. This is The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. This is an isekai, and he's a rare member of being a healer. Here's the thing. Healers die pretty easily. So in this world, they want healers to be strong. And so he ends up in a nightmare program. Redo of healer, not redo the healer, whatever. He ends up in a harsh training program to toughen him up, and he uses his ability to heal himself so he can go past his limits, and he becomes incredibly strong and awesome. Also, there's an owl in it that is also a magician or wizard. It's cool. It takes a little while to get great, so I'm a little worried, but I like it. I like The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. The wrong way to use healing magic in this case is healing yourself so that you can keep training to get stronger. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy Season 2. I didn't hate the first season. The first season ends really strong. It's fucking pretty badass by the end of it. But I don't think I'm going to keep watching it because I didn't love the first season. And also, from what I understand, it kind of jumps the shark. I did like it. I just didn't love it. So I think I'll probably end up skipping it. More Urusei Yatsura. We're getting more of it. It's so weird. We're getting more of it. That's awesome. 23 episodes. That's rad. Here we go. This, I think, is the last isekai that I'm psyched about this season. I have not read the light novel. I don't usually read light novels. The manga, I want more of the manga. Villainous Level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. A girl gets isekai'd into an otome game. She is the optional boss. She's not the demon lord. She is the side character bonus fight. But because she's the hidden side boss, she's incredibly overpowered. And she's a min-max gamer. She didn't play otome games for the love story. She played the ones that had good RPG systems. So she knows how to min-max in this game. She becomes level 99. People think she's the Demon Lord because she's so abnormally strong. Also, she's a weirdo. She is like definitely on the spectrum and doesn't understand social cues. Does it help that the dude she likes is named Patrick? Helps a little bit. We don't have a lot of Patricks in anime. Happy to have one. The last one was another isekai, and he was like not that. He was like maybe a shifty dude. I can't remember the isekai, but there was a Patrick in that. Also, there is a dragon. Will we even get to the dragon in the anime adaptation? I think we will. So I'm excited about it. Yuki Bakuhatsu Bang Braverin. This is a great name for an anime that I probably won't watch. Titanosaur Trider. TS for short. It's a mecha series. I like mecha series, but this looks boring as shit. They must fight every ounce of courage and pride they can muster. Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch that. Doesn't look good. TV shorts, which we won't get, but would be nice to get. A couple of these would be good. We will get this. The 12th season of Yami Shibai. We will get that. We will get Theater of Darkness. Crunchyroll always seems to pick these up. So if you like those, you'll get more of it. Leftovers. Dog Signal. I want it. Somebody pick up Dog Signal. Freerin's continuing. Hell yeah, we're getting 28 episodes of Freerin. That rules. Ragnar Crimson, we're getting more of. Hell yeah, more of a Shangri-La. Maybe I'll watch Undead Unluck. I'll get Hulu for a month and watch that. I don't know. And then some movies. I'm going to do an outro for the live crowd in just a second, but I'm going to rep. Oh, hey, wait, Combing? Wait, is there a Combing movie? Oh, yeah, there's a Gundam Seed movie. Yes, there is. There's a Yo Boy Komig movie with new footage of some of Aiko's performances. Okay, that's neat. I didn't know that. I came around to really love that show. I didn't necessarily like it at the time. Oh, more Magic Mokuda. And some OVAs. All right. I am going to end this video recording. I'm going to talk to the live audience for a bit, but this video recording is now going to be ending here. Leave a comment about the show you're most excited for here on the YouTube, or the show from last season that you loved the most. Is it Freerin? Was it Undead Unluck? Let me know what you're excited about coming up. And if you have suggestions for future Pat Bear's Anime Clubs, I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching this incredibly long video. Goodbye.